What if I told you Lionel Messi isn't the biggest problem for MLS defenders anymore? It's who might be standing in front of him. Inter Miami are ready to trigger a shock buyout clause, and suddenly every missed chance, every wasted pass could turn into pure punishment. One move could flip the balance of the entire league, change how teams defend, and unlock a version of Messi we haven't fully seen in Miami yet. But here's the twist: this signing isn't just about goals, it could decide who controls MLS next. Stay right here. We'll explain everything in this video step by step. Don't skip it. Ladies and gentlemen, football fans around the world, buckle up because Miami just turned the heat all the way up. The pink wave is rising, the floodlights are glowing, and the whispers are getting loud. Lionel Messi might be about to get a brand new attacking partner, and oh boy, this one has goals written all over him. Inter Miami are reportedly ready to pull the trigger. Yes, the trigger, on a buyout clause for a deadly Liga MX striker. This isn't just another signing rumour floating around in the Miami breeze. This is a statement, a warning, a message sent straight to the rest of MLS. We're not done yet. Picture this: Messi, the magician, the man who bends time, space and defenders, weaving through the midfield. And ahead of him, a striker forged in the chaos of Liga MX, battle-tested, fearless, hungry and absolutely ruthless in front of goal. A player who has survived packed stadiums, brutal tackles and nights where one chance meant everything. This is a striker who lives for pressure, and now he could be living for Messi's passes. Let's talk drama, because this story has plenty. Inter Miami didn't always look like a superpower. Remember the struggles, the injuries, the moments when Messi had to do everything himself? The magic was there, but sometimes the finishing just wasn't. Chances created, chances wasted. And Messi? You could almost hear him thinking if only someone was there. Well, Miami listened. Triggering a buyout clause is not casual business. That's front office confidence. That's ownership saying, we believe this is the missing piece. This Liga MX star isn't just coming with goals, he's coming with fire, movement, physicality, and that streetwise instinct that defenders hate. He presses, he runs channels, he attacks crosses, and when Messi drops that inch-perfect pass, blink and it's in the back of the net. And let's be honest, Messi with a clinical striker is football's cheat code. We've seen this movie before. Give him the right partner, and suddenly defenses panic, space is open, and scorelines explode. MLS defenders already struggling to track Messi's movement could now have two nightmares instead of one. This move isn't just about winning matches, it's about dominance, about turning Inter Miami into a global headline machine, about selling out stadiums, silencing away crowds, and making every Miami match feel like a final. Liga X fans are watching, MLS rivals are nervous, and Messi might be smiling because when a superstar gets support, history tends to follow. And if this deal goes through, oh, trust me, goals are coming, lots of them. Stay tuned because Miami's story is getting louder, faster, and far more dangerous. Inter Miami reportedly triggering a buyout clause is not just a routine transfer move, it's a calculated power play that sends shockwaves through MLS and beyond. Because activating a buyout clause means the club is cutting through negotiations, bypassing delays and saying we want this striker. Now, no compromises, no waiting, no hesitation. And that alone tells you how serious this pursuit really is. The front office has clearly identified a problem area and decided the solution must be immediate, decisive and impactful, because when a team has Lionel Messi pulling the strings, wasted chances become unacceptable and patience turns into urgency. And that urgency is exactly what this move represents. This reported buyout clause centres around a Liga MX striker who has built his reputation in one of the most intense, unpredictable and emotionally charged leagues in world football, a league where defenders don't give you space, referees rarely offer protection, and every away match feels like a war, which means any forward who thrives there arrives hardened, sharp and mentally unbreakable. And Inter Miami know this. They're not just buying goals, they're buying resilience, adaptability and a player who understands how to survive when the match turns chaotic. Triggering a buyout clause also removes the element of doubt for the selling club. There's no bargaining table, no last-minute price hike, no drawn-out drama, just a clean release that places all the control in Miami's hands. And that's crucial when timing matters. Because integrating a striker into Messi's rhythm is not something you leave for later. It's something you prioritise immediately. Every week without a clinical finisher is another match where Messi's genius risks being under-rewarded. From a tactical point of view, this move screams intent. Inter Miami are signalling that they want a striker who can read Messi's body language, attack the 6-yard box, stretch defensive lines and punish teams that overcommit, to stopping the Argentine icon and a proven Liga MX scorer fits that profile perfectly, physical enough to battle centre-backs, intelligent enough to exploit half spaces, and ruthless enough to turn half chances into goals. Financially, a buyout clause is also a bold statement. It tells the league that Miami are willing to invest aggressively to stay ahead, not just rely on star power and shirt sales, but on competitive balance, squad depth, and match-winning efficiency. It raises expectations internally and externally, because once you spend decisively, excuses disappear and pressure multiplies. Most importantly, this move reflects a shift in mentality. Inter Miami are no longer experimenting or building slowly. They are operating like a club that expects trophies now, that understands Messi's window is precious, limited and priceless, and every decision must maximise his impact on the pitch, which is why triggering this buyout clause feels less like a rumour and more like a declaration that Miami are done waiting, done hoping, and ready to force outcomes in their favour. Messi set to gain a lethal attacking partner is the kind of phrase that makes defenders uneasy and fans lean closer to their screens, because history has shown time and time again that when Lionel Messi is paired with the right striker, football matches stop being contests and start becoming exhibitions. And Inter Miami appear fully aware that even the greatest playmaker in the modern game needs a finisher who can turn brilliance into numbers on the scoreboard. Since arriving in Miami, Messi has carried not just the ball but the expectations of an entire league, creating chances out of nothing, dragging defenders with him, and opening passing lanes that shouldn't exist. Yet there have been moments where the final touch didn't match the quality of the build-up, moments where the run was late, the finish rushed, or the chemistry still loading, and that's not a criticism. It's a reality of football when a genius is still searching for the perfect partner. A lethal striker changes everything, because suddenly Messi doesn't need 3 touches to create goal. One glance is enough, one disguised pass, one chip ball over the top, one low cut back into space, and the striker's job becomes simple but brutal. Arrive first, strike cleanly, celebrate quickly, and reset. This is where Messi thrives, when his creativity is rewarded instantly and repeatedly. The reported incoming striker brings more than just goals. He brings movement, hunger, and instinct. The ability to sense where Messi wants him to be before the pass is even played. That split-second anticipation that separates good forwards from feared ones. Defenders track Messi so closely that gaps naturally appear behind them, and a smart striker lives in those gaps, feeding off Messi's gravity like a predator, waiting for the moment to strike. There's also psychological impact, because when opponents know Messi has a reliable finisher ahead of him, defensive plans crumble, double marking becomes risky, pressing becomes hesitant, and mistakes multiply. Do you step up to Messi and leave space behind, or do you drop deep and give him time on the ball? Either choice becomes dangerous when a lethal partner is constantly threatening the box. For Messi himself, this partnership is about freedom, less burden, and more efficiency. He no longer has to force the impossible every time. He can orchestrate, dictate tempo, and choose his moments, trusting that when he delivers, someone will finish the job, and that trust elevates his game even further. Inter Miami understand this dynamic. They've seen flashes of it. They've tasted the rewards when Messi links up smoothly, and now they want consistency, reliability, and a striker who thrives under pressure rather than shrinking from it, because playing with Messi isn't easy. Expectations are sky high, chances are limited, and every miss is magnified. Only a mentally strong forward survives that spotlight. If this partnership clicks, the ripple effect across MLS could be massive. More goals, faster matches, bigger scorelines, and a version of Messi that looks liberated, sharper, and even more dangerous. Because when the greatest creator of his generation finally gets a ruthless finisher by his side, the game tilts, balance shifts, and defending becomes an exercise in damage control. This is a statement signing designed to dominate MLS competition, because Inter Miami are no longer operating in survival mode or growth mode. They are operating in power mode, and every move they make now is measured against one question only. Does this help us control games, control narratives, and control trophies? And triggering a high-profile move like this sends a clear message to rivals that Miami are setting the pace rather than chasing it. MLS has always been a league of parity, where salary caps, designated player rules, and roster restrictions are meant to keep the gap between clubs tight. But Inter Miami are finding ways to bend that balance through ambition, timing, and global appeal. And adding a proven striker to a team already built around Lionel Messi is not subtle, it's aggressive, it's deliberate, and it's meant to shift the competitive landscape. Rival clubs will feel this immediately, because preparation changes when you face Miami. Training sessions become heavier, defensive drills get longer, and match plans get more cautious, knowing that one mistake can now be punished twice as fast. Once by Messi's vision, and again by a striker whose job is to finish without mercy. That psychological edge is priceless in a league where confidence often decides outcomes. From a league-wide perspective, this move raises the bar, forcing other contenders to respond either by investing more, scouting smarter, or accepting that Miami are building something different, something closer to a European-style powerhouse within an American system. And that pressure creates a ripple effect, intensifying rivalries, increasing standards, and turning ordinary fixtures into must-watch events. On the pitch, dominance isn't just about goals, it's about control, territory, and momentum. And a statement signing gives Miami the ability to dictate matches, score early, force opponents to chase and exploit. T-spaces as games open up when teams fall behind against Messi-led sides. Panic sets in, lines stretch, and mistakes multiply, which only feeds Miami's attacking strengths. This signing also speaks to ambition beyond domestic success because dominating MLS is a stepping stone, not the final destination. Inter Miami want to be seen as a global brand, a club that attracts elite talent, competes in international tournaments, and carries relevance far beyond league standings, and moves like this reinforce that identity, showing players worldwide that Miami is a place where careers are elevated, not parked. There's also an internal message being sent to the locker room, the coaching staff and the fan base that mediocrity is no longer tolerated, that close losses and missed chances are problems to be solved, not excuses to be accepted. A statement signing raises internal competition, sharpens focus and demands higher standards from everyone involved. When a club moves with this level of intent, dominance stops being a dream and starts becoming an expectation because talent, confidence, and momentum begin to feed off each other, creating a cycle that's difficult to stop once it starts. And Inter Miami appear determined to ignite that cycle by making it clear that the league must now adapt to them rather than the other way around. Miami's transformation from struggle to superpower is one of the most dramatic storylines in modern MLS history because this club knows what it feels like to be overlooked, inconsistent, and written off. Long before the global spotlight arrived, Inter Miami was searching for identity, results, and belief, grinding through matches where potential rarely translated into points, and frustration often drowned out optimism. The arrival of Lionel Messi changed everything, but not instantly, because even legends need structure, support, and time. Early flashes of brilliance were mixed with moments of chaos. Injuries disrupted rhythm, defensive lapses cost leads, and the burden often fell on Messi to rescue games with moments of individual magic. And while those moments were unforgettable, they also exposed the gap between star power and complete dominance. That gap is what Miami have been relentlessly working to close, piece by piece, window by window, turning lessons from failure into motivation, refining recruitment strategies, improving squad balance, and reshaping mentality. The club stopped thinking like an expansion project and started acting like an institution with expectations, and that shift in mindset is where real transformation begins. The move to surround Messi with players who complement rather than simply admire him is a key part of this evolution, because superpowers aren't built on one hero, they're built on systems that amplify greatness. Miami's recent decisions reflect a deeper understanding of what it takes to win consistently, physicality to survive tough matches, tactical intelligence to control tempo, and depth to endure long seasons. This transformation has also reignited belief among fans, turning home matches into events and away matches into spectacles, pink shirts filling stadiums, chants growing louder, and opponents feeling the pressure before kickoff. Confidence spreads quickly when a club shows direction, ambition, and clarity, and Miami now radiate all three. Off the pitch, the club's rise has altered perceptions. Sponsors, broadcasters, and players now see Inter Miami as a destination rather than a stepping stone, a place where football culture is evolving rapidly, blending global excellence with local passion, and that reputation feeds recruitment, making it easier to attract talent that once seemed out of reach. What makes this transformation truly powerful is that it's ongoing, not a finished story, but a momentum-driven journey, each bold decision building on the last, each improvement raising expectations further, and each success reinforcing belief. Miami are no longer chasing respect, they're demanding it. No longer hoping to compete, they're planning to control, and no longer content with moments, they're constructing an era. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe